Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I was gonna do that on Friday, but I'll do it again today. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do it again today. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. I'll plug 2 things. You guys,
Valentine's Day.
it's Valentine's Day. Can you tell? I don't know if anybody can tell that it's Valentine's Day because Mock doesn't get excited about it. You can't.
I was even gonna get this excited, and then I thought maybe
Right.
this is
She
overkill.
gets really excited.
This
I'm
is
wearing
too much.
pink. I'm wearing pink. I thought maybe that was, like,
This is new
festive,
for you.
but then I know, usually I wear black. I usually go
Yeah.
all Johnny Cash on Valentine's Day. I did have a sweater. I almost wore a sweater. I had a black sweater with a red heart on it, and I thought, "No, I'm just gonna wear my pink." I know. I was gonna get a little crazy, but then I was like, "No, I'm gonna pull it back. I'm gonna pull back and wear my pink." You know? Easy there, Daisy. Don't get crazy, right? But she goes all out. I mean, when we worked in radio, she'd wear the leggings and, like, it looked as if somebody had just thrown up Valentine's. But look at
I
her.
do love
Mhm.
Valentine's. Yes, Victoria, she noticed that I'm wearing the same outfit that she had during the stroke, and
Yes,
it is because
Mhm.
and I wore it last year on this day as well, because I feel like now it'd be weird not to. So now I
Yeah,
have, like,
but
a superstition about it,
she's
and
gotta take
so
I have PTSD over it, though. We talked about this in pre-show, and I'm antsy right now. I'm
Oh,
very
yeah, 'cause
anxious.
I told you I was gonna take these off so you
Yeah,
don't have
she's gonna take
PTSD throughout the
Yeah.
whole show.
I'm freaked out about the outfit and the glasses and everything just because of the stroke thing. So, yeah, she's gonna take the glasses off from me so I don't have a complete breakdown during the show. Okay, so there's that. You
That
guys,
means it's 2 years. I'm
it's been
2
can you guys
years
believe that? It's been
stroke free.
2 years, which is fantastic. I
Does this
know,
still
right?
work?
Does it
Does it
work?
still work? Yes.
Yay! It's
So, yay
so
for me.
great. It's so great. Okay, so listen, this weekend we have a really great deep dive coming out with Matt Low. Is it Lowmeyer?
Mhm.
Lowmeyer.
Meyer.
Okay, I want to
You
make
guys
sure
remember
that
who that is? Do you remember?
she's going to say that he's the hottie from the military that was booted out over DEI. He's nice on the eyes, very easing on the eyes. Gentleman from the
Very
military,
easy.
from the Air Force, who was booted out because of DEI stuff. He dared to speak about DEI, and they were like, "You're going to go." And so they booted him out. We had a really lovely conversation with them yesterday, and so that's going to come out on Saturday. So you guys watch for that. And then
And it was funny because, like, 2 weeks ago it was originally scheduled, like, 2 weeks ago, and then he said, "Oh, something's come up and I need to just do it by phone." And I was like,
you're
"Well,
like,
there's really no point in that, is there?
no, because she's
We're gonna
gonna
need the whole
gonna
picture."
gonna need to see you. Everybody's gonna need to see you, Matt. So we recorded that yesterday, so you guys can definitely check that out this weekend. Do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a really, really good deep
It
dive, I
was.
thought. Thought it
Mhm.
was really, really
He
super
gave a
good.
lot of really great insight about the present state of the military.
Yeah.
It's not good, you guys.
It's not good. It is not
Mm-mm.
good. Also, just a note about Camptono and tickets for Indy. The Indianapolis meet and greet is happening June 29th here in my town. And we are getting very, 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 very close to being sold out. And I would expect that so today we're just going to say today is the last day of ticket sales because we're very, very happy with the number of people, and it's going to get crowded, I think, if we really try to push the limits anymore. So we're going to shut down ticket sales at 5:00 this afternoon. And that will be that. So if you've been on the fence, if you've been thinking, yeah, maybe or maybe not, and you're thinking more on the maybe that you want to come side, you got to get your tickets today because that's it. That's the end. We're going to shut this down.
Yep.
And we will be sold out as of 5:00 today. So if you still want to try to get in there, you're running out of time. So just make sure to do it today. Okay. So also we need to mention there's kind of some bad news today, you guys. I just have to say it's not great today because the George Santos seat, he got kicked out of Congress because he's a big fat liar. And I'm not saying that was a wrong decision, but it certainly hurt. It hurt to lose the solid Republican vote, and now we've lost it even harder because there was a special election to replace him last night, and the Democrat won. So now we're looking at a 219 over 213. That's how slim the GOP majority in the House is, 219 to 213 now. And it's not very good.
That's slim.
It's very, very slim.
Mm-hmm.
And the chick that lost, her name is Maisie Phillip or something like that. She's got
emotionless.
I'm sorry.
Is she emotionless? Like
no,
your dog?
she looks like she has emotion, not like my Maisie.
Yes,
She's a
okay.
whole other Maisie. Right. But she's an interesting woman. She's a mom of 7. She was born in Ethiopia, moved to Israel, served in the IDF, and then came to the United States.
Wow.
She's a huge supporter of Israel, huge opponent of illegal immigration, and those were her main platform items.
Mm-hmm.
And she lost to the Democrat. Trump is blaming her for not supporting him hard enough. So he did a big diatribe on True Social last night saying it's essentially her own fault because she didn't endorse him vigorously enough.
What would that have to do? I don't understand. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But regardless,
okay.
she lost. And so now we do not have,
because it doesn't have it has everything to do with people getting off their asses and going to the polls and voting for her.
Yeah. But I think what he's trying to say is that had she come out and been like super Trumpy, he would have thrown an endorsement behind her. But because she didn't.
Yeah, but his endorsements haven't really meant much over the past couple of years.
He thinks that they've meant everything. Like he said in that big True Social tweet that he was like, I have like this amazing record with endorsements and she could have had it, but she didn't endorse me.
I don't.
And so it's all this like,
listen, I like him, but I don't agree with that.
Yeah. So we lost that seat.
Yeah.
So,
it's all about getting off your butt and going to the polls. That's what it's about.
Right.
It's not about endorsements. It's about people going and voting. Period.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying to say that like, had she been really Trumpy, more people would have come out to support her.
I don't
agree
with
that. And they didn't because she's not MAGA enough or whatever.
I don't agree with that at all.
I don't either, but anyway, that's what happened there. And then to prove that the House is working on doing things, they did vote to impeach Mayorkas yesterday, which is kind of meaningless, but they impeached him in the House. And now the Senate will either dismiss those charges outright or not even bother to respond to the fact that it even happened. They could just ignore it altogether. Or they could go through a vote and say, we're not convicting him. We're not doing it. And so, I guess it's good, that everybody's been mad about Mayorkas and Republicans have been really, really, really wanting for him to face consequences, but these consequences have no punch.
Right.
It's a lot of bark, but no
bite. Yeah. As long the only thing that would make me happy is if he was gone and then like, I don't know, he didn't get a pension.
Yeah, that's not happening.
It's not going to happen. That's the thing. I'm still going to have to pay the schmuck.
Right.
We're all going to have to pay him forever and ever. Amen. And he's like, and he knows it. So he's like, the border is secure. The border is secure.
Right.
It's just
right.
Madness. These people.
It is madness. And so I know there's like just kind of a lot of bad news today, but here's some good news. Omaha Steaks, you guys, now has a subscription service.
So good.
And for me, this is like really, really timely because I've been ordering from them like crazy. Now that I know that they're about more than just steaks, which steaks are, of course, their staple and they're delicious and you cannot go wrong with them. And we always order them. But now we also get all the seafood, all the sides, yummy desserts. They have so much delicious stuff there that I'm like, I get more and more excited to try all the things. They've got skillet meals too. And so now they have a subscription service where you can save an extra 10% on your food from Omaha Steaks if you do the subscription, and you get free burgers for life. For life.
That's enough to do it right there.
That's enough to do it right there. I mean, are you kidding me? So this is awesome. It's like they could tell that I was ordering a lot and they thought to themselves, you know what we should do? We should have a subscription service because that mock chick She could use it. And the best part is that you decide what you want in your subscription boxes. It's all up to you. You customize it. You choose the frequency. You choose the stuff that goes in. You choose the quantities. You can change it up anytime you want. You can change the frequency anytime you want. It is so customizable and awesome. And this is why we love Omaha Steaks. Check it out. omahasteaks.com/
Somebody said they need heart-shaped steaks.
You
Say
could
that.
do that. You could make them
You
yourself.
could totally do
heart
that.
them up.
Yeah. Get yourself a little cookie cutter, but for steaks.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Cleef 6132, thank you very much for that super sticker. We appreciate you. Okay, so we talked about Mayorkas being impeached. CBS has laid off another 800 employees. That included Catherine Herridge.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, but
she's
listen,
like one of the only good ones.
The economy's great, though, you guys. It's great.
Yeah, speaking of the
Really
economy, it's not really that great. Not really great at all. And
Really?
we're going to get to that too.
We can't tell.
We're going to get to that as well. But first, I did not realize that Lara Trump her name is being thrown around to replace Ronna McDaniel.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah. And I am not for this. I don't think we
this
should.
is a good idea at
Yeah,
all.
I don't think this whole like all the family working in all the places. We've talked about this before, and I'm not a big fan. I think that I don't like it. And she made some comments last night. I don't know if it was on Hannity or what. You have them? Yeah.
I do. And I don't think she understands the job. So here she is saying what she would do if she's elected.
Tell you, the RNC needs to be the leanest, most lethal political fighting machine we've ever seen in American history. That is the goal over the next 9.5 months. If I am elected to this position, I can assure you there will not be any more $70,000 or whatever exorbitant amount of money it was spent on flowers. Every single penny will go to the number one and the only job of the RNC. That is electing Donald J. Trump as president of the United States and saving this country. We have no time to waste. We've got to get to work. We've got a lot of money to raise. And we need to ensure that every penny goes to those things that I just mentioned. Otherwise, you're right, in perpetuity, the Democrats are going to beat us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the only job.
No, that's definitely not. Every dime is going to be going to spend it on Trump getting elected.
That's not the only job. Yeah, because we talked about just a couple minutes ago about the slim majority there. Like there's also state and local elections that are happening all the time. You know what I mean? Like people are constant that happens. Like politics begins at home. You know, as somebody, I do the precinct chair thing, and like that happens here locally. You got to like get involved in your local politics. And why isn't Scott Presler being tapped for this? Why
I don't understand it at all.
What is
how much more does he have to do?
Right.
To show his mettle. Like he is the exact right person.
Who does this guy have to have sex with? Oh my God. Seriously.
I mean,
I don't understand. Like he is literally a saint.
I know. I don't get it.
And he's still doing it, and he does it like so thanklessly. Like he does it like for free. You know what I mean? He just goes out there and does all the things, and people are just like, they're there. We're going to go ahead and tap somebody in his family, in Trump's family, which I don't.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure she's a lovely person, and I'm sure she's capable of doing some of the things, but he has.
And people are saying that she would be like a co-chair. Which, okay.
That's fine. But he should be top of the list without question. And that's the problem with our party. Is that
we just ignore the people actually doing the hard work
that have done for years, that have done the work, that have done it. And why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we saying, okay, you're it. Like, you're it. And Harmeet, I mean, I just don't understand why we don't reward people that have done, the selfless work of trying to get, people who are true conservatives into the positions that they need to be in. I don't get it.
Well, it's just more of us kicking our own asses.
Yeah.
This is what we're really good at, apparently. And meanwhile, the economic report, not good yesterday. You probably saw the stock market absolutely tank, lose 6 months worth of its gains, and it dropped like 530 points or something crazy. And that is because the consumer price index report came out. And it's bad. Inflation is still ticking up. Now we're looking at interest rates not going back down. I mean, everything. Well, you'll hear it right here.
This issue we talked about these beginning of the year price increases is something that drove inflation this time around. A lot of big increases in medical costs. You had medical care up 0.7, motor vehicle insurance up 1.4, hospitals up as well. You didn't get much. You got a little relief from the used car world. You had food prices up. It was just a lousy month when it came to inflation. And of course, real earnings also declined in the month, worth pointing out.
Yeah, but that little troll yelling is going to get out there and be like, but it's great.
Transitory.
It's great. And everybody's getting paid more, right? Your wages have gone up.
But they just said that also went down. Real wages went down.
Yeah,
so
but
she doesn't even get to say that.
She's going to say it. They're all going to say it. Your wages are going up. I mean, maybe in the federal government, their wages are going up because they get to like set what their wages are, and they just get to decide they get raises every year. We don't get to do that in the private sector. And they're like, we're going to get a raise. Woo! And so their wages may be going up, but ours aren't, So they say this and it's like, hello. No.
Yeah. Well, Biden's economic advisor, that chick named Lael Brainerd.
How do you spell that?
Lael.
Oh, okay.
Lael. Lael Brainerd, she is not worried about these new CPI inflation reports. She's not worried because you just need to look at it with a different set of eyeballs. Here she is to explain.
Assume these aren't the kind of numbers that you guys want to see, an increase on the monthly, annualized, and core inflation rates.
You know what? I always look at the data picture. Don't overly weight one data point. And the overall picture looks good.
Oh,
it looks fine, you guys. It's fine.
It looks good.
Everything's
great.
Fine.
She puts on her like rose-colored glasses. She's like, it looks so good, so rosy.
It looks so transitory from my perspective.
It's beautiful.
It's not good also when it comes to jobs. So any jobs gains that we've had, look at this. According to J.D. Vance and the Center for Immigration Studies, all, not just some, all U.S. employment growth during Biden's administration has gone to foreign-born people.
Oh, my God.
If you're an American, native-born American,
screw you.
You've not had a good Biden administration.
You in danger, girl.
It's not been good for you.
Not good.
And so KJP was also asked about the numbers, and she was, as she always is.
We're seeing some price pressures that can't necessarily be explained away by shrinkflation or continued issues with supply chains. If you look at the cost of services such as auto repairs or healthcare, those costs are still rising. So what is the White House's message, or what is to Americans who, for example, may have to take out a loan to fix their car? What specifically is the administration doing to lower the cost of services?
And that's a good question. And look, we've been very clear here. That prices are still too high. We're going to do everything that we can to lower cost. That is something that we've done, whether it's junk fees, right? Whether it's healthcare, whether it's the Inflation Reduction Act that also includes healthcare provisions in there so that Medicare can certainly negotiate with big pharma, hence lowering some prescription drug costs, which is incredibly important. Energy costs, all of these things are important to the American people. So we're going to continue to do that. We've because of the president's action, he was able to lower cost at the pump, and so that's mattered as well to Americans across the country. So we're going to continue to do the work. Obviously, we understand there's more work to be done.
I'm so sick of her saying that.
But this is an economy that is in a much different place than it was a year ago. A much different place, obviously, than it was 3 years ago. When you see eggs and milk and products like that at the grocery store going down, they're lower than they were a year ago.
They're not going down. They're not going down at all. When I started, I always make New Year's resolutions. And because I do that, I'll make like 25 bajillion resolutions. One of my resolutions, which I've already broken a million times, is I need to curse less. Right? I've got to clean up my mouth, you guys. I have a terrible. You know, I love me some Jesus, but I have a terrible, terrible mouth. And so I've got to quit saying bullshit a lot. I say bullshit a lot. And so I've decided that I need to start, instead of saying bullshit, I'm going to say KJP. You guys quit KJPing me. I'm just going to like substitute it. That's a good substitute, don't you think?
It works.
It
definitely works.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of synonymous. You guys quit KJPing me. We should all just run with it. Make it happen.
Yeah, make this happen for sure.
There you go.
So meanwhile, in the midst of all this economic news, the Senate also passed a giant spending bill for Ukraine, for Israel, for Taiwan, for basically every other country except the one that needs it right now, which is ours. And so, unfortunately, there were a whole big bunch of Republicans who contributed to that yes vote, and you can see them on your screen right now. So all total, this is a $96 billion foreign aid bill. There's not a penny, not a single red cent for America. And some of the names on this list surprised me. The typical ones that you would expect are there. I mean, you always expect Murkowski and Romney and those folks. But John Kennedy?
Yeah, John Kennedy's on there. What a disgrace.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, why? What is even happening?
And you're Todd Young over there in Indiana.
And Todd Young, Joni
Shame
Ernst.
on
I
him.
mean, there were some people on this list that actually really, really surprised me.
Yeah.
And so this is, it passed. And now Biden, of course, is like, okay, Speaker Johnson, it's up to you to take this up in the House and to pass it in the House. Speaker Johnson has said, if there's not going to be a single red cent spent on our own borders, we're certainly not going to take this up in the House. I don't know if he's going to stand firm on that. I worry that he won't.
He better.
And I worry that this will actually pass the House, because now our majority is so slim and there are so many Republicans who would very, very easily decide, oh yeah, Ukraine aid is super important. There's plenty of those old school Republicans, the neocons, who definitely believe that we should be funding this war in perpetuity. I think it would pass. And so for him to not take it up, there may be workarounds when it comes to that. I don't know, because I don't know enough about the workings of the House to know what they can do if he doesn't want to take it up, but they still want to move it along, or if it's dead. I have no idea. But Biden is talking a lot about Mike Johnson doing this, and it's important because Russia's going to invade all the other countries.
Ukraine. He won't limit himself just to Ukraine. And the cost for America and our allies and partners are going to rise. For Republicans in Congress who think they can oppose funding for Ukraine and not be held accountable, history is watching. History is watching.
What?
History is watching.
Oh,
Failure
really?
to support Ukraine at this critical moment will never be forgotten.
Really?
I want to be clear about something, because I know it's important to the American people.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what
he doesn't give a crap about America. These people don't give a crap about America. No money for America, but we have to constantly fund Ukraine. This is what they care about. And you know what? There was all these things going around on Twitter yesterday about how these yahoos, all these legislators, they have no problem staying up late at night working for Ukraine. Right?
Oh, in fact, don't even say anymore, because I have that exact clip. And that was a Rubio point.
Yeah.
Rubio actually went on one of the talk shows to say that. And I know. And before he went on one of the talk shows, he was actually on the Senate floor saying, WTF are we doing?
Right.
Like, what is even happening? And then he drew a contrast between what foreign folks who are coming here illegally are getting in terms of our tax
Oh my
help.
God. It's absurd, you guys.
Listen.
You're going to
One of the things I see a lot in South Florida are people that have been in this country that maybe came from Cuba 45 years ago. They've worked here their entire lives. They retire. They get $800, $900, $1,000 a month from Social Security. And then they run into somebody who just got here from Cuba 3 months ago, is 29 years old, doesn't work, and is given $1,500 a month in benefits by our government because they're refugees. That refugee, a year later, is traveling back to Cuba 15 times.
My God.
So you're a refugee fleeing oppression from a place that you now go back and visit 15 times the following year. And in the meantime, we're giving you Medicaid, food stamps, health care for your children, cash payments from the refugee fund. So imagine if you've been working here for 40 years and your Social Security check is smaller than the benefits going to a 28-year-old.
Oh my God.
Able-bodied person who just got here. That's real. That happens. That's happening every day. That makes no sense.
No, it's absolute KJP.
Ah!
It's total KJP, you guys.
It's infuriating.
How can you keep voting for these people who do this to you? Like, you see this, you hear this, it's data. This is happening. And then you're like, yes, sir, may I have another? I'll bend over.
And let's spend all weekend voting to fix other countries' problems.
Which
is what he talks about in this clip on a talk show.
My problem is we are here, we met through Super Bowl weekend, all of it is fine with me. What I wonder is what people back home are saying to me, and that is, you guys will stay up there for days at a time, cancel trips, whatever it is you're going to do to help other countries with their invasion, but you never do that for us. We have an invasion going on right now. And you won't give that priority. And so I think Americans are tired of always being told they're second to another country, second to an interest group, second to something, the global economy, whatever it might be. They're tired of it. And I think that's being exposed here, how out of touch politics has become, including people in both parties, with what the priorities are of everyday working Americans.
I think at least half the country, the good half, needs to stop paying our taxes.
How do we organize that?
They can't put us all in jail. Seriously. I'm serious. Like, at some point,
I mean, that's been an idea that's been floating around on social media for a couple weeks now, and people are like, "Well, how do we organize that on to scale?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, because at some point, I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. I mean, they won't listen to us. They're not actually representing their constituents. They're not doing what we put them in there to do. These people, it is. I know it's so much better to say bullshit, because that's what it is. But I mean, that's what it is. I mean, these people are out of control with our money. They're taking they're stealing our money, and they're spending it on other countries. They shouldn't be spending it on other countries. They should be spending it on this country. That's what we hired them to do. They're not doing the job they were hired to do. So at some point, I want to quit giving them my money. It's my money. It's not
and
theirs.
the worst part is that it's gone past even them just sending our money away. They are now printing more money and borrowing against our future money. You know what I mean? Because they've already spent what we've given them in taxes. That's long gone. Like, that's already in the debt hole. You know what I mean? So they just keep printing more, and then everything gets more and more expensive. And then pretty soon, just like Venezuela, we're going to be eating zoo animals.
Right.
This is where we're headed.
I'm not eating zoo animals. I'm not doing it. I do. She said debt hole.
She's taking a stand.
Hashtag debt hole. You said debt hole. I'm sorry. I can't get past that. That was really funny that you said that.
I did accidentally say that.
You said debt hole. You did.
All right. We got to focus on something good for just a second.
My God, it's so negative.
Okay. So here's something good. Code defense. Code defense is awesome.
Dogs.
Dogs are awesome.
I mean, listen, I'd rather eat a zoo animal than a dog. Let's just put it out there.
I'll eat a zebra before I'll eat a dog.
I totally will eat a zebra before a dog. We're putting it out there.
I mean, and thank God for dogs, because without them, the world would be a far even worse place, if you can imagine. And so you need to do whatever it takes to make sure that your dog is doing its best, right? Whether that's they're eating their best, whether that means that you're taking care of their coat or their itchy scratchies, because dogs get itchy scratchies a lot. They get ear infections, they get like itchy scratchies between their toe beans, and then they start chewing their feet. And all of that can be prevented with this amazing preventative powder from Coat Defense that you just sprinkle on their coat, you rub it in, you brush it in, whatever, you put it in between their little toe beans, you even sprinkle some in their ears and rub that in.
What I do.
This is amazing preventative powder that takes care of so much of the things that cause the itchy scratchies that dogs get. And so you can use it to treat and to prevent. That's the magic of Coat Defense's preventative powder. And of course, they also have all the other products that tie in, like the wound care mud. If your dog gets a wound of any sort, they've got balm for their little noses in the wintertime when they get all dry. They've got shampoos, all the stuff for dogs, cats, horses, even people products. Coat Defense has it all. And you can use promo code CHICKS when you check out at coatdefense.com. You can save 15% off your entire order. So take care of your dogs, take care of you, and go to coatdefense.com. And thank you, Kim Donaldson, for that super sticker. Appreciate you. All right, now we have to get back to bad stuff. I'm sorry, but there is more bad stuff to get to. Like, for example, the Senate race in California that Adam Schiff is in, and that Katie, what's her name? Katie Porter, I think.
Yes, Katie Porter. My God, she's awful.
Damn it. Awful. They are competing. It's those two, and then some dude whose name I don't know, and I don't think anybody cares. He's just like somebody that just is in the race to be in there. And then Barbara Lee. They had their debate, I guess last night. And in that debate, Barbara Lee actually said out loud and tried to justify it without understanding how math or the world works at all, that there should be a $50 an hour minimum wage in her area, in her district. $50 an hour.
So incredibly high.
How are you that dumb?
I guarantee you that she didn't pay her people $50 an hour when she owned that business when she had for 11 years. And why not make it $300? Why not make it $3,000 an hour? Make it $3,000.
I don't know. I mean, why
not?
put a
What's
limit on
stopping
it?
Yeah, you shouldn't put a limit on it. We should make it $40,000 an hour. That's what the minimum wage should be.
$1 million an hour.
Totally. That's what we should make it. I mean, why not? That's how absurd all of this is. Because she didn't explain how she was going to do it. Notice how there was no explanation there. She couldn't explain to you how she was going to do it.
Because it's not possible without everything going up in price. Again, we're going to be eating zebras. This is what this is the logical outcome of all of these ridiculous policies that Democrats are putting forth. How do they not know this?
Because it is because precisely what you're saying when it comes to like the Venezuela, comparison, it's socialism. That's what these people want. They want freaking communism. That's what they want. Well, if they want that, good luck with it. I want no part of that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so maddening. Yesterday, was it yesterday that we played the montage of everybody talking about the special counsel report being gratuitous? This is the new catchphrase. This is the new marching order talking points.
Yeah.
Monday. Okay.
Monday.
So this still continues to be an issue. People are still talking about Joe Biden's senilities, mental health, and all of that. And Chuck Schumer, was majorly on the defense for Joe Biden. Here he is.
Talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. I've been speaking to him for 30 years since we worked on the Brady bill and the assault weapons ban when I was a young congressman. He's fine. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity is declined is wrong. He's going to win the election because he has a great record.
Oh my
God! Because more and more Americans are seeing that record.
Look.
Yo, somebody should give Schumer a cognitive test.
Yeah.
Just
and he's like, back in my young days.
Right.
Get out. Just get out of Congress already.
Right. These people all of them are too old. They all need to go. They're all too power hungry. It's like, you've made enough money. What is it that Obama said? At some point, you've made enough money. You've made enough, Schumer. It's like you, Pelosi, all these people, you guys are loaded. You've done your insider trading. You've made enough money. Now GTFO. It's time.
Yeah. KJP also talked about the report specifically. She's super mad about it. And she says even illegal experts have said that it is a bad report. Illegal experts have said that.
And I just want to be really clear. It's not just us. There was also a bipartisan voices and illegal experts who have said it was flatly wrong, right? It was gratuitous. It was inappropriate how that was characterized in the special counsel's report.
She wants to be clear about the illegal. What's an illegal expert?
I don't know.
What is that? What is it?
I don't know.
Is it somebody coming over the border that they tapped as an expert? I don't understand. What is that? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. She's so
she doesn't know.
Stupid.
She has no idea what she's saying.
But they are they're still gonna use the word gratuitous, and they are gonna really drive that home as much as possible. In fact, so much so that someone else was able to put together a whole other montage of all the talking heads using the word.
The word of the day in this report came out to describe the descriptions was gratuitous, and I think that was right. There were cheap shots.
I found some of the language in the report a little bit gratuitous.
I think that this special counsel report was
gratuitous.
This gratuitous language that he used.
Gratuitous language about his mental acuity.
A very gratuitous hypothetical about Biden's age.
And I think the word gratuitous is generous. There was so much unnecessary, inflammatory, and partisan kind of language that was used about President Biden in there.
There's a Justice Department tradition that you don't interfere with presidential elections. This seems like the height of interference. It's gratuitous.
Republicans making hay out of the gratuitous age comments in the report.
This is a little bit, in my view, beyond editorializing. It is gratuitous political hackery.
All of the other language, we use the word extraneous, we use the word gratuitous, but like I said, I think those are generous words. Those are just actually too nice to say. They were not supposed to be there.
So who do you think it is? You think it's Soros, Obama? Who tells them to say all this crap? Seriously. They get a memo. Do you think it's via email? How do you think? I mean, because they're all in cahoots with one another.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these people get their marching orders and they say all this crap. And if you don't think that they're all controlled by some big, like somebody is like pulling their puppet strings, then I mean, I can't help you at this point. Honestly, when you see stuff like that, if you don't think that they're all in cahoots with one another, you're beyond help.
I know. I know. It's just infuriating and so coordinated, and they're so good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the scariest part is just how I don't want to say effective because like we don't fall for it. We see through it right away.
Exactly.
But you hear that word enough and then all the sheep are like, oh, that report was gratuitous. Okay, then I'm just not going to actually pay attention to what was in it. You know what I mean? They're so freaking good at it. Yeah. Michelle Billier, if you're being French about it, just sent us Venmo and said, to be clear, love you chicks. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. One more clip in this segment, which I thought was interesting because RFK Jr. was asked about Joe Biden and just about the requirement of a president, no matter who it is, to be on his game. And the most interesting part about this to me was what he said at the end. And it's something that I would hope Joe Biden's family is listening to carefully.
You know, I think the issue has been raised, and I don't think it's character assassination to challenge the president to come out and debate and to show the American public that he has the cognitive capacity to do this very, very difficult job. This is a job that requires a lot of complexity, a lot of nuance, a lot of very, very difficult decisions. This is the man who might get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning that your children and my children are depending on his answering it in a way that is, again, responds to complexities. And we have a right, as the American people, I think, to know that our president is actually leading the country and somebody else is not. And, you know, there's so many special interests now in Washington, D.C., big financial interests that are trying to manipulate the political process. And I think those interests would just as soon have a president with cognitive deficits because it enlarges their power. I think it's really important for Americans to understand, for the president to show Americans with unscripted encounters with voters, but also through debate, that he actually is capable of handling this job.
As a quick follow-up, as president, if you were to determine that you couldn't remember significant chunks of your life, how would you address that?
Well, you know, I would hope my family would say it's time to enjoy your retirement.
Next
question here.
Exactly. You would hope your family would love you enough to do that. And not throw you under the bus because they're so power hungry and they don't give a crap about you. Yeah. Which is precisely what's happening. Yeah. And other people are pulling the strings. It's so obvious.
I mean, without question. And you're going to see in just a moment, we've got a video. They're now, you know, they've started the TikTok or whatever. They've got Biden doing all these, I don't even know what to call them, these social events or these social media events. And there was one that he took part in where they sent him to a black family's home to have chicken tenders. Did you guys see this? We'll show it to you in a second. But oh my God, I saw that and I was like, this is so gratuitous.
Oh, that's gratuitous.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what's gratuitous.
Oh my God, it's gross. Yeah.
But before we get to that, we need to tell everybody, just as a reminder, that if you have not gotten your 14-day free, I said free trial with aura.com/chicks, this is the service that helps protect your identity, protect your private information, protect you from spammers, from scammers. It protects your banking even. Like you can set parameters in there that if you see a charge of, I don't know, more than $500, you're going to get a notification or a text alert. They do password management. They do all of these things that help protect your personal information and keep you safe online, keep your identity safe online, keep you safe online. They also do credit monitoring. They do the antivirus protection, all of this stuff wrapped up into one service, which is so fantastic. This is why we're so excited that Aura is a new sponsor of the show. And in that, when you sign up for your 14-day free trial, which by the way, you can cancel if you want to, but the free trial for 2 whole weeks for free, you get access to all of these products and you will immediately be told if your information is already compromised. So it's worth it in gold just for that reason, that you'll immediately know. They're going to do the immediate checks to see if you're in the dark web somewhere, if your information, your email addresses have been compromised in any way. It is such a useful service. And I've gotten so much out of it just in the short time that I've been a member. I would never give it up for anything at this point. So check it out. Go to aura.com/chicks and sign up for that 14-day free trial. Just see how much of your online information is being sold. You may be shocked. I'm just warning you. You may be shocked. Okay, so speaking of that clip that we just mentioned, so this is Joe Biden. I don't know who this family is. I don't know why they're eating chicken tenders. All I can tell you is that he looks and sounds freaking old.
Oh man, you got chicken fingers. You got the whole deal. I want the root of making sure I had the hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now, what grade are you in?
7th grade.
7th grade.
Right now, I'm just doing basketball, playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How y'all doing in school? You should tell the president about the school.
Favorite thing about it is the business academy I'm in. We get to travel, so we've been to NC State, Wake Tech, and
You're kidding me.
Yeah, we went to this small dry cleaning business, and it's cool. It's a great experience.
I'm impressed. Is that a new program at the school?
Yes, sir, it is. It just started just a couple of years ago.
You know how much this guy loves you. You just feel it, can't you?
Yes, sir.
Your dad jumped in front of a bull for you. By the way, we dads are hard to raise. Once you're a teenager, we're hard to raise. So you gotta be patient with us, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
A little patient.
God, those kids are so sweet. It makes me so
They
mad.
are precious.
They're just
Absolutely
precious and
kids.
they're misguided
and they're being exploited. And
right.
It's gross.
That's the thing. That's what I hate about it, because they're just so sweet and so darling, and I hate that they're in that position. Yeah. Anyway, and
what's the point? What was the point of that? What's the takeaway?
He's sitting with black people. He's sitting with black people eating fried chicken.
Okay, got it.
That's what's happening there. Yeah, and it's that whole thing was just that was gratuitous.
Yeah. It just felt so icky to me. And I couldn't figure out, because that's what you see. You see Joe Biden with a black family eating fried chicken, but then what did the Democrats or what did his campaign think that was supposed to be the message? I don't get it.
And what do black people think about that? Like, seriously, black people that are here, how do you feel about that? What do you think that dad? That's the thing. I want to ask the dad of those 2 beautiful boys, why did you do that? You know what I mean? Do you really think that Biden is doing a great job is he a good role model? Do you want your boys one day to vote for somebody like Joe Biden? Because it's total pandering. What's happening right there. It was absolute pandering. He doesn't.
But what was the point? I want to know what they thought the point would be.
It's
what did Democrat? So if I'm a liberal and I'm watching that, what am I supposed to think? Am I just supposed to be like, oh, Biden loves black people and loves,
talk-
I don't
and
know
he-
what I'm supposed to
And
be
look at him
told
having
from that.
he's just a regular guy talking to black kids. He's just a regular, look at him being a regular guy eating fried chicken, talking to black kids. Look at him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
This is just cringe.
and it was
It's
scripted.
cringy.
It was scripted and it was planned and it was plotted and it was weird, and it was cringe. And all of us, people who are normal see that. It wasn't like a organic encounter with people.
Right.
And that's, if Trump would have done that, they would have been all over that. They would have been like, this is stupid and it's pandering. They would have called it out for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that all of us do that. I hope that black people do that because it's pandering.
Yeah. It was just weird and cringy and odd. And so we had to share it. John Kirby still getting pestered about TikTok. Now that reporters are trying to worm their way into the question because they know he won't answer it directly. The fact that the campaign itself now has a TikTok account. So now they're just trying to get him to say, well, what are the concerns about TikTok by this administration? And so he answered that question.
John, on TikTok, can you explain what are the national security concerns that the administration has about TikTok?
As you know, it's not approved for use on government devices, and that remains the case today. And I think, again, I don't want to get into too much of the national security technical reasons behind that, but it does have to do with concerns about the preservation of data and the potential misuse of that data and privacy information by foreign actors. I think that's as far as I can go.
It's wise for people to use TikTok?
Again, that's not something that I'm qualified to say from the National Security Council. All I can tell you is it's banned on U.S. government devices, and we follow that guidance.
But it's fine.
That's the thing. If it's banned on U.S. government devices, then I don't understand how they're even using it. I don't get it. Because aren't they on government devices? Like, we're paying for those,
I mean, I would think that the campaign is financed not by taxpayers, but by donations.
Right.
The campaign.
Okay.
And so theoretically, they could be using non-government devices. Like they could be using personal campaign devices.
Okay. So,
but still, if their own message, Democrats' message, the whole government's message is
this is
dangerous, then it sends it's bad optics for them to be on the platform that they're saying is dangerous.
It's total hypocrisy.
Yeah.
It's absolute hypocrisy. And they can you not see that? Yeah.
I think you could.
You think you'd be able to see that, but they can't see that. You guys, the border is secure.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
The economy's great. Bye,
Right. It's
great.
Woo! Yeah.
Eugene Heiger, thank you. Eugene says, let me be clear. COTR is the best Valentine's Day, or happy Valentine's Day, ladies. You're all so special to us. Thank you, Eugene.
Thank you.
And there's all kinds of rose heart things. And C. Douglas, thank you so much. C. Douglas says, you ladies make my mornings. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Here's something good. And it doesn't happen often from Mayor Adams. You don't necessarily always get good from Mayor Adams of New York City. But when it comes to Israel and supporting Israel and knowing what the right side of the current war is, Adams and Fetterman, they're really, really good at this. Okay. Really, really good at it. And here's a great example. Mayor Adams was like super heckled by some crazy pro-Hamas weirdos. And he had something very specific to say to them, and it was great. First this. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is in the Harvard Crimson. So 30 pro-Palestinian Harvard students took part in a 12-hour hunger strike.
12 hours? Oh my God. People are like, okay. You guys,
in other news, they skipped lunch.
Right. Like, how many people intermittent fast for like 16 to 18 hours? This is not a hunger strike.
Believe that.
Oh my God.
So
These
funny.
kids are a freaking joke. I can't. I cannot.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah, we skipped a meal, you guys. Look at us. We're total activists. Yay.
We're so brave. We're so brave.
We didn't go to Starbucks today, you guys. We're like activists. Oh my God. Wow.
I'd forgotten I'd put this in here. So
total losers.
Now it's time for Mayor Adams. I hope I'm not surprising myself again.
Adams, you're complicit in the genocide of Palestinians. I just want to know how many Palestinian children, how many killed Palestinian children will it take for you to call for a ceasefire, Eric Adams? That's all I want to know.
Bring the hostages home.
Wow. Eric Adams, you get high.
You support genocide.
Oh my God, shut up.
You get high. You support genocide.
What a bunch of
Bring the
idiots.
hostages home.
Yeah, bring them home.
Wow.
Bring them home. It'll stop it.
Bring them home.
Bring them home. It'll stop it.
Yeah.
Why
Love
do they
that.
have? Why do they have them in the first place? Oh, that's right, because they attacked Israel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, remember when
All
that
these
happened
people
on
calling
October
for the
7th?
ceasefire. You know, there was
Right.
one, and it was on October 6th. Remember?
Right. Yeah, and then
It was
they
going
attacked
great.
them on October the 7th. So suck it. God.
And now here's something else good. The kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs went to Georgia Tech to give a commencement address or some sort of address. His name is Harrison Butker, and he wanted to talk about, yeah, it's great. Like, we're on a high right now, and winning the Super Bowl is amazing, and like we got the highest ratings ever, and it's amazing. But this is a temporary high, and there's things that matter more than that. And I loved that his message was about marriage and kids.
They just announced that this Super Bowl was the most watched football game of all time. And yet all of this happiness is temporary. And the truth is, none of these accomplishments mean anything compared to the happiness I have found in my marriage and in starting a family. My confidence as a husband and father, and yes, even as a football player, is rooted in my marriage with my wife, as we leave our mark on future generations by the children we bring into the world. How much greater of a legacy can anyone leave than that? Sadly, we are encouraged to live our lives for ourselves, to move from one thing to another with no long-term commitment, to have loyalty for nothing but ourselves and sacrifice only when it suits our own interests. This loneliness is rooted in the lies being sold about self-dependence and prioritizing our career over important relationships.
I just love that.
I love that too. We need to see more and more of that. It's so fantastic.
That
Mhm.
is the best.
It really
Jennifer
was great.
Twett sent Venmo and said, "Hope you are feeling the love today." Thank you, Jennifer. And
So
Leah.
sweet.
Leah, thank you. Leah says, to be fair, Muslims fast for Ramadan between sunrise and sunset, which may be why they chose 12 hours for the hunger strike. Okay, but then they shouldn't call it a hunger strike.
They should just call
That's
it
the point.
They should just call it a Tuesday.
Right.
You know?
I mean, they can just be like, in honor of a daily Muslim fast,
Right.
this is what we're doing. But they went out of their way to be like, we're on a
Hunger strike.
Right.
They're not hungry.
They're
It's
not
just every
hungry.
other day. They're not hungry at all. No.
So that just cracked me up. Also, so this is like such a mishmash montage, as you've probably noticed. It's absolutely all over the place, and it will continue to be so, because the next thing that you're going to see, this is very, very exciting, actually. There is a chick in the UK who has solved the homelessness crisis.
Oh.
She has a brilliant idea to solve it. Here she is.
Okay.
If you're homeless,
God, thank you, God, for TikTok. Thank you. It's just, it's making, it's making people smarter everywhere, really.
Everywhere. I mean, thank God for people like her who really
Totally.
think through and find the solutions to
Yeah.
difficult problems.
Every day. It's fantastic.
Check that one off the list
There you
as
go.
a thing that we have to worry about. No
Just
more.
Get a house. Get a house,
Get a
loser.
house, guys. Buy
Loser.
a house.
Uh-huh.
On that vein, too, I had a couple of stories like weeks ago, and then there was so much going on that we just never got to them. But you guys have probably heard, there's been news stories all over the country. This is a problem. The squatter issue.
Oh
where
my gosh. In Atlanta? Like
everywhere.
Yeah,
this is an everywhere problem where people can literally, if you're trying to rent out a house that you own, people can just take it over.
Yeah.
And they end up in, it's never a criminal issue. It always becomes a civil issue, and it's done on purpose because these people know that if they sue and sue and sue, that eventually the owners are going to break and just pay them off. So not only are these people stealing homes and taking them over for months and years at a time and wrecking them in many cases, but then they're extorting money out of the owners who all they did wrong was own a house. That's it. That's their and it is infuriating. So in Portland, this guy decided to create a video just showing how maddening and how idiotic the rules and the laws about this are. And everything that he's showing you in this video is legal. Like he has done everything by the book, and it is totally 100% real. Watch.
This is how I got a free house in Portland, Oregon, and how you can too. So the first thing I did was find a vacant house that somebody was trying to rent. Next, I looked up how to break into a lockbox without using force. Thanks, YouTube. Next, I forged some documents. This made it look like I had a lease agreement, and I called the utility companies and had the utilities put in my name.
My God.
I'm not going to pay them, but they don't know that. When the owner showed up, I politely explained that this was my house now, and they need to leave. So they call the police, and I show them my lease agreement and the utility bills, and they tell the owner that this is a civil matter, and they've got to sue me. This made the owner super angry, so she lawyers up and tries to evict me. Of course, I can't afford a lawyer, so I call up a tenant advocacy group who gives me a lawyer that's 100% free and funded by taxpayers. So my out-of-pocket is still $0. So this lawyer fights on my behalf for months and months, really driving the owner crazy and costing her tens of thousands of dollars. Finally, the owner decided it would be cheaper to just give me a chunk of cash to leave rather than continue paying the lawyer. So she writes me a check for $10K and I move out. I didn't even have to clean the place up, and that's a good thing because I do a lot of drugs and the house looks every bit of it. Still no thank you note for aerating the walls, but whatever. So I just got 9 months of free rent in a house that otherwise would have cost me $3,000 a month, plus a nice cash for keys check. And I wasn't even charged with anything. I always thought that stealing was wrong, but it turns out if you steal a house, it's not even against the law here. So this couldn't have worked out any better. Thanks, Portland.
Can you even imagine? And this is a recipe for illegals. Think of it. All the people that have 10 million people have come across our border illegally. Don't you think that some of those people will like see that or understand that this is a way that they can get free housing because they're looking for it? So,
well, and all the people that are mad at this guy for putting out the video, I mean, he's exposing how bad the laws are. I think more people need to know about that. I mean, yes, there's going to be bad actors that take advantage. There already are, though. That's the point. And there's too many good people that don't know that this is a thing that need to be fighting the laws about it. I mean, this is insane to me.
What needs to happen is the dumbass legislators need to see this, and then they need to do something about it. That's why, I mean, listen, this stuff needs to come to light. People need to talk about it. Otherwise, it would just keep happening under the radar, which is precisely what's been happening over the past. If you look at some of these cities like Atlanta, my God, it's being taken over by squatters, and nothing's being done about it because, like you said, it's a civil issue. People are just getting away with it. So we need to bring this to the forefront. That guy is basically being sarcastic in this video, and he's like, "Look, this is how you do it. This is how it's being done. So what's going to be done about it? Somebody needs to do something about it.
This.
Yeah,
this needs to be fixed. God, it's just infuriating,
unreal
to see that. So obviously, I've balanced it out with something really, really great, and that is in stark contrast to the a-holes running our country who fly around on their private jets and who make millions off of the backs of taxpayers, and basically illegal insider trading, which is how they make their fortunes. Meanwhile, in Argentina, we have a new president who won't even fly anything but commercial. And so Milei flew commercial and decided that he was going to take time to make sure he got selfies with every last passenger. And I just love it.
Oh my God, I love it.
Is that not the greatest thing?
It's fantastic. I mean, what's not to love about this guy?
I know. And everybody started singing. I mean, presumably like a national song, right? And the whole plane starts singing.
Oh my gosh. That is just fantastic.
I love that so much.
I do too. Man of the people, like a legit man of the people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was
one
awesome.
One can dream, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We did play a couple clips from Tucker's world tour that he's currently on right now. And one of the clips that's getting a lot of attention, and people are mad at Tucker actually for having the audacity to compliment how clean and lovely of a city Moscow is. And you know, the problem is that he's not wrong. And so we can all be mad about the fact that Russia has all these beautiful subways and that their cities are clean and safe, but can you deny it? I
right.
mean,
if it's true, it's true. The truth hurts. I mean, why people are so butthurt about it? But if it's clean and it's nice, why can't you say that out loud? It's just data.
Yeah, and so you know, he's obviously being called a traitor to America for having the audacity.
So he should lie,
right? I mean, he's supposed to say this city sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of doesn't, from at least what he saw. And here he is. This is the clip that's making, of course, all the rounds.
What's radicalizing, very shocking and very disturbing for me was the city of Moscow, where I'd never been, the biggest city in Europe, 13 million people. And it is so much nicer than any city in my country. I had no idea. My father spent a lot of time there in the 80s when he worked for the US government and barely had electricity. And now it is so much cleaner and safer and prettier aesthetically. It's architecture, it's food, it's service, than any country, city in the United States that you have to, and this is non-ideological. How did that happen? How did that happen? And at a certain point, I don't think the average person cares as much about abstractions as about the concrete reality of his life. And if you can't use your subway, for example, as many people are afraid to in New York City because it's too dangerous, you have to sort of wonder, like, isn't that the ultimate measure of leadership? And that's true, by the way, it's radicalizing for an American to go to Moscow. I didn't know that, I've learned it this week. To Singapore, to Tokyo, to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Because these cities, no matter how we're told they're run and on what principles they're run, are wonderful places to live.
Right.
That don't have rampant inflation, where you're not going to get raped.
Sir,
excuse me. What is that?
Yeah, it's kind of like my husband, he's been to Singapore and he's like, you can eat off the streets. I mean, it's so clean there. And I mean, granted, the politics are totally different. I get it. I mean, I totally get it. Like, you spit gum out and they're going to like cut your hands off or something. I'm sure, right? I don't know what the rules are there. I'm sure it's probably something like that. But I mean, if that's the deterrent, I mean, I feel like it works because it's clean. It's such a beautiful city, he said. And I felt really safe there. And so it's different. It's just different when you visit these different places. And so you can't, if you say the truth out loud, people are like, oh my God, you're a traitor to your country. You're not a traitor. You're just saying that they are run differently and people respect where they are. It is what it is. And he's just saying the truth, and people need to quit being so butthurt about it. And somebody said I think it's Susan that said there's no pride here. Yeah, there's a lack of pride. And if you can't ride a subway in America and not feel safe, why is that?
And just look at this video, the differences. And this is a subway in Moscow, and they contrast with the United States. And look, I mean, you're going to see a whole bunch of different Russian cities. And then you see this. This is a United States subway, presumably New York City, but it could be anywhere.
Right.
I mean,
falling apart.
And what happened to like all that money that we spent on infrastructure? Why is our country falling apart?
Because we're
looking like it's in shambles,
right?
When we're spending all this money,
we're not spending it on us. That's why we're not spending it on us.
That was supposed to be on our own infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So where is it? Where are all the infrastructure projects? Why aren't our subways getting cleaned up? Like, what is going on with all of our money?
Well, because as evidenced by what we talked about earlier, we're spending it on Ukraine and their infrastructure and their pensions and their people.
But I'm saying we passed a whole bill of trillions of dollars for infrastructure. So if we passed it, and so where is it? Where are all the improvements? That's what I don't understand.
Do you ever see an accounting of that, though? I mean, do we ever say to our legislators, okay, show us where it was actually spent? I mean, really? We just give them piles and piles and piles of money, and they waste it. They waste it.
Oh my gosh, it makes me so mad.
Set it on fire. Yeah.
It's true too that like what you're saying and what people are saying about the lack of pride in our own country and the lack of care that anybody has about keeping their own space beautiful. It's true. And there's also, and this is kind of related, but a different example. I guess the Los Angeles Black College Expo for the year just happened, and it was a complete nightmare. So according to this tweet, there were non-stop mob fights inside and outside the Expo Center. People were being robbed, and eventually there was like a stampede because people were afraid of a mass shooting. And here is what it looked like. I mean, somebody got it on video. Insanity.
Oh my God. What? Are you kidding me? Yeah.
This is a college expo.
Unbelievable. What in the world? Yeah, this is the thing. And these are kids who have been taught early on. They were taught in elementary school to hate their country.
Right. And they do.
Country. Pull statues down. Hate your country. Your country sucks. This country sucks. This country's racist. This country's sexist. This country's all the things that are bad. You know, they're not taught that in other countries. They're just not. So when we say the word pride, we're taught here that pride is a bad thing. A sense of like nationalism and pride in your own country. That's terrible. You can't think that your country's awesome anymore. You just can't. You have to hate it. And that's what happens.
Yeah. God, it's just so frustrating. Timothy Ham, thank you. Timothy says, happy Valentine's Day to the two women I wake up to. By the way, Mock, look at that Joe video close. I think it's AI.
Really?
The meal with the family? Is that the one they say is AI?
I don't think that's AI.
I think that's probably real.
And
Laura Kozlowski, thank you so much, Laura, for that super sticker. Appreciate it. Okay, before we get to Double D's, which is super cute today, and it is kind of a before and after type of thing, I decided we should have a different before and after. And let's discuss really quickly what in the hell has happened to Megan Fox.
She was so beautiful, wasn't she?
Look at her back in the day.
Just stunning. Oh, I always thought she was just so naturally beautiful. Yeah.
Right? Naturally being the key word.
Yep.
She's decided natural no longer for her. And now she looks like Kim Kardashian.
Right.
I don't know what has happened to her, but that blonde thing in the front with the peace sign is her now.
Yeah. She also has 3 trans kids. Did you guys know that?
What?
Yeah, she has like 3, I think, boys who are all like biological boys who are all trans or something. Yeah, I read that somewhere.
That couldn't possibly have anything to do with their upbringing at all.
No, I'm sure they're all completely trans, like on their own.
Oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God. All right, now let's get to the cuteness.
Okay, so we were told that we had talked about this earlier on, and then we were reminded yesterday by an insider that we needed to do this. And so I was like, oh, I totally forgot that I said I was going to do this like last week. But this came up in my memories. It was a picture of our kids together, your boy and my girl, and they are 4 years apart, right? We always joke that one day they're going to get married and we're going to be in-laws. And we've been saying this ever since my daughter was born. But your boy is 4 years older than my girl. And this was taken, gosh, I think back in 2010 or 2011. I think it was 2010. 2010. Look at look at our babies. That's my little girl looking at your little boy. And he was 4 and she was maybe like, I don't know, 6 months old.
She's gotta be like 6 months old. Yeah.
6 months old. Yeah. And look how cute they are, you guys. Like, look
at the way she's looking at him. It cracks me up.
I think she's looking at that Georgia hat and she's like, take that off your head. They're so cute, right? So, and then there was this picture we took of them when we were in Costa Rica, and I put them side by side, and I was like, I can't. The night and day. They grow up so fast, you guys. I had to show you. Can you stand it? Can you stand? I
cannot. We've got to recreate that exact pose, though.
I know. She's got to look at him like that, and he's got to have his hat turned right side.
Right.
But look at our kids, you guys. Look at them.
Oh my God.
I can't. Time is such a thief. It's just a thief.
It's
and
the
it
meanest.
Goes so fast. And I saw that group of pictures, and I was like, just needed to slow down.
I know.
Mox got 7 more months with her baby boy, and then he goes off to college. 7, just 7 short months. So you guys pray for her because
I cannot deal.
it's
I'm going to be
hard.
a wreck.
She will be a wreck.
In August.
She will be a wreck. So
just
yeah,
be prepared.
So keep her in your prayers because it's hard, man. It's hard when they go off to college. Right.
Yeah. All right, it is time for some My Pillow Talks, and of course, there are still huge deals on all of the things My Pillow. And we're talking bedding, we're talking mattress covers and mattresses, we're talking towels, bathrobes, dog beds. The slides are less than $25 right now, so stock up ahead of summer because you know they're going to get more expensive when summertime comes. Stock up now. Use code CHICKS at mypillow.com/chicks. Get yourself some St. Patrick's Day gear.
Yes.
It doesn't even have to be green. It just should be My Pillow. You know?
Or it could be green. It could be. They have some
green.
They have some green stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So people have, I'm sure everybody here has had experience buying tickets, right? For events, concerts, whatever. And Ticketmaster sometimes makes that process unbearably difficult and impossibly stupid because of all the extra fees that they tack on. So this guy, he is all of us.
All right. So all in total for the whole concert, that is $40 total. And then there is a $40 processing fee, a $15 convenience for processing the fee for you fee, a $17 what you really gonna do about it fee. There's a $25 I dare you to miss this fucking concert fee. There's a $937 fee for you're not even really supporting the artist anymore.
Oh my God.
Chipotle personally tomorrow fee, and $150 per block. That's them. Don't blame us.
$150 per
add
block.
that all up, you get go fuck yourself. All right.
So true.
Right?
God, that is so true.
It is.
Concerts they're just terrible now. Terrible.
I know.
Armed robbery.
This mom posted a highly embarrassing video of her daughter's stupidity, but really it kind of showcases that the mom has missed out on some teaching opportunities with her own daughter about how credit cards work. This is super cringe.
What did you just say? Why does it say pay it? No, what'd you say?
Why did they pay it?
Because that means you have to pay for that.
That's not my problem.
She's looking at her American Express bill, and under charges, it says like pay it. Like you can pay that on your American Express. And she said, why does it say pay it under this? And I'm like, so you could pay that. Like you would hit pay it and you pay that. And she said, why does it say that on mine? That's not my responsibility.
But like I already bought it. So why would I have to pay for it again?
Oh my
You're
God.
not paying for it again. You're paying because you pay for it on a credit card.
Oh my God.
It's unlimited.
I'm so confused. Like actually,
it's
Oh my
unlimited. You have to pay that bill.
How
Yes.
old is that girl?
No, you're not paying for it twice.
She looks like she's 17 or 18 years old.
No.
Help.
Yeah. You need to parent. You need to teach her. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's asking us to help her parent. I can't help you, lady. I can't help you.
That ship has sailed.
You know, maybe you should ask dad to help you because you're not doing a very good job. Yeah, because damn, that was hard to watch.
Mortifying. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
she's probably going to go off to an Ivy League next year. That kid.
Right. She's absolutely been accepted to college. There's no question in my mind.
She's been accepted to Harvard or Yale. You know that kid has. God help us all.
Well, she's white, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
Touche. Touche, Mark. Yeah.
This is probably inappropriate, so hide your kids, hide your wives. But this fellow was surfing, and he was presented with a sight that no one should have to see, and he wants you to know about it.
I was just out surfing, and I saw something you shouldn't see. There was a woman on a foam board. She was wearing a very, very tiny thong, and I saw her butthole. Do you think you should have to see a butthole when you go surfing? Because I don't. No, save your comments about body shaming. I saw her butthole. I went surfing and I saw someone's butthole.
Yeah, you shouldn't see that. feel like that's not okay. You shouldn't see that at all. That is one tiny thong. That's a teeny tiny thong if you can see somebody's butthole. And why are people wearing thongs? Why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Just wear a proper suit.
Cover
out
your
in public,
ass.
Cover your
Crying out
butthole.
loud.
Cover up that hole. Okay.
No one should have to see that.
Exactly. Or nobody should see your debt hole either. Your debt hole or your butthole.
Either one.
Either
It's
one.
just not okay.
Nobody wants to see them.
There is apparently a competition somewhere in Asia. I don't know what country this is, but they skip rope really fast, you guys, like so fast that you can't even believe it. This is a contest, and I saw it, and so you have to also see it.
Single rope speed sprint, 30 seconds. Judges ready.
Is there an actual rope here? There's a rope,
Yeah.
right?
There's a rope.
Oh my god.
What is even happening?
That is like, this is a thing.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing. Look at him go.
Oh my gosh. What's the end game here? Is he trying to
I think he has to. I don't know.
trying to get as many steps in as he can
Yeah, I
in a
think
certain
so.
period of time?
Like he got his 10,000 steps in for the day in that 30
right
seconds.
there. He's so delighted with himself too.
Well, I mean, he should be. That was amazing. Wow. That was kind of amazing.
Yeah, China.
This is a Valentine's Day special post. This woman is really wanting to brag about her Valentines.
When he fills your room with heart-shaped balloons for Valentine's. Oh my gosh. No, I'm just kidding. I'm at Dollar Tree.
That's so great. You know what I hate is when people say Valentine's.
She said that.
I hate it when people do that. It's
I
not
don't like it either.
Valentine's.
No,
it's not like good times, happy times, Valentine's. It's not that. It's Valentine. It's like Saint Valentine's with an N.
Valentines, like tines of a fork.
And as in
tines.
not going to say Valentine's ever
I can't
again.
believe we even have to say this out loud.
Right. And she's an adult.
She's
Yeah.
a full-grown adult.
Right.
And last, we got to have a dog. And this dog has a very, very unique way of begging for food. I've never seen another dog do this ever, but it's very, very different. I have to mute it because there's music. Why does he do this?
He's so cute. I would scrunch his face and give
I
him
would
all the
feed
kisses.
this dog everything.
I would kiss his snoot. He's so cute. Get him. I love you. Give me
Isn't he the
food.
cutest? I'm
Oh,
upside down. Feed
So
me.
cute.
Don't know why he does it.
I love him. Giving the people what they ask for. It's fantastic. Mhm.
Anyway, those are your talks. But now
Great talks.
we have
Great
to
talk.
talk about some other seriously whack stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
You can stick around or not. This is some whack stuff.
This is some whack stuff that we just wanted to say for the end because
Right.
there was a Reddit. Now, I don't believe anything I ever read on Reddit. I don't read Reddit.
You
first
don't?
of all. I don't.
Believe it?
Do you?
I don't really read it either, but I don't know
Okay.
like why. But it's real people talking about real stuff on Reddit, right?
It just seems like there's so much fake stuff created on Reddit in order to go viral to create outrage.
Drama.
Yeah,
Okay.
and create drama.
All right.
So I will say, the caveat of the Reddit post that you're about to see is that it may or may not be real. We don't know. But it absolutely is a realistic issue of today that's probably occurring in plenty of homes all over the place. So, and I know this is a big thing to read, but the gist of it is that this woman's husband has apparently told her, listen, I want to cross dress. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be buying some women's clothes because I just want to do this at home. They have kids. She's 7 months pregnant with another child, and they need money for their kids, right? He goes out and spends $1,400 on women's clothing online, including undergarments. And so she was super mad about it. And she was like, this money should be for our kids. And he was like, I make more than you. And women spend a lot of money on clothes. So this is nothing. And so then she caught him. She walked into their room. He was standing in front of the mirror, looking at himself in just his new lingerie underwear. And he totally had a boner. And she was like, This seems weird to me. What do you guys think?
Oh, you think it's weird? You think that's weird, lady?
Oh my God. What do we think? I mean,
Yeah,
are you serious? So someone answered her and they were like, hi, your husband has a fetish. It's called autogynephilia. And they're not going to talk to you about this on trans boards because it's considered transphobic. But that's why he had a hard on, essentially, while he was trying on women's clothes. And apparently, this person was trying to tell this woman, this is super common, that these guys, these psychos, these fetish weirdos will wait until you are trapped with kids, you're married, you're in it, right? And then they'll tell you, oh, I have this thing that I want to do.
I have a fetish I want to do. And if you don't stay with me, like you're the one who is the bad person, right?
Right.
You're the bad person. You're a transphobe. You're this. You're some ob or ist or something. You're like, they will gaslight you and say something's wrong with you, right? When you should run with the kids.
Run like the wind.
Run as far away as possible because this person is mentally ill. Go. Run. Yeah.
Because this isn't something that's going to get better.
No,
okay,
it'll
get
get
feel
worse.
more and more empowered to go further and further and further.
Yeah.
And it's insane to me when people just tolerate it. So there's this family on TikTok who this woman had this lovely relationship with a man. She gets married, they have kids, and he's like, I'm going to be a woman now. And she's like, okay. And so we have a video of their entire progression of their relationship, which is, it's extraordinary. It's going to be muted because it's got music in it. But you don't need the sound to see the dates and like the progression of this relationship. So here's where it starts, right? There looks like a perfectly normal couple, July 2017. He's a dude. They're engaged the following year.
It's literally 6 years ago. 7 years ago? 7 years ago. This crap started. Yeah, it's not that long.
I mean, beautiful engagement photos. Look at their wedding day.
He's a dude. He's a dude.
Then she's pregnant. They have their big baby reveal. And that's when she says, oh, Ryan started 1 month on HRT.
What in the world?
She's pregnant with their child. And he's like, now I'm going to become a woman.
Oh my God.
So that's the first month on HRT. Then he decides, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm going to stop taking this. And so grows the beard out, looking like a full dude again. But now she's saying, oh, well, the only reason Ryan was feeling better is because of the HRT. And so didn't realize it. So it was living like a dude again. Everything's great. In August of 2021, he's building trucks. Like they're about to have this baby. He is a full on dude.
He's a dude again.
Best daddy ever. And then December 2021, 2 months on HRT. You can start to see.
Oh yeah, the feminization.
Him. Yeah,
he's starting to be. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 6 months, 10
months,
and then full. Look at. Oh my God, I just cannot. What?
Now he's got boobs. He's got boobs now, and this was this past summer. He's like, getting his first haircut,
first hair appointment. I can't.
So that was the progression. And she gets pissy with anyone who says, hi, your husband has a mental illness.
Right.
This is crazy that you're enabling this. Mm-hmm. And here's what she says to those detractors.
Okay, I want to address this.
Okay.
Being trans is not a mental illness. And commenting stuff like this, I understand will probably never end. But this is truly why a lot of individuals do not ever come out.
Seriously? Yeah, this is why they don't. Yeah, that's why they don't come out. Yeah, that's right. She's just making excuses for this,
And she's now, what, are you a lesbian now? Like, how does this even work?
Right. What is exactly, because she was attracted to him as a dude, like a full-on bearded dude. And so I don't even know how you rationalize that as a woman. Now all of a sudden you're with this person who kind of resembles you but is an ugly you. Like, what is that? I don't understand,
and who presumably is going to go through with all of the transformation, right?
Yeah. So then how do you do that? And then the kids come into play too. Like, you are raising 2 children. Are they going to have a third one? Like, what is happening there? Yeah, it is a mental illness.
Of course it is. It's still listed. Gender dysphoria is a mental issue. That is a problem. It's listed in the DSM as a mental disorder.
I'm actually surprised it's still listed in the DSM.
Well, that's fair.
Because it was for years and years and years. And then I feel like that community started backing off on calling it a mental illness, because you know how that works. I mean, they want to like take labels off of that stuff and then try to normalize it. They're trying to normalize all this crap. And so I'm surprised it's still in the DSM.
I mean,
but it is.
I guess some people would say, well, I mean, she married the whole person and married him for his mind or whatever personality. And so she's sticking with him through thick and thin. But this is not just thick and thin. This is a transformation into a whole ass other kind of person.
Right.
And that's, I feel like it's well within her right to say, I did not sign up to be married to a woman.
I'm out. Right.
Or to a dude living as a woman.
100%. I mean, if my husband came to me and said, I'm going to go ahead and become a woman, I'll be like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, that's not that. You don't get to do that. That's not the contract that we agreed on.
Yeah.
I mean, yikes. And so things are getting so completely batshit that now it's like, you see this often. I mean, not too often, but it's going to be more and more often that you see biological women who decide they want to be men now, but they still also want to be pregnant and give birth. And that is just a complete mind screw. And they try to normalize it, like this person.
Did pregnancy and birth cause you any gender dysphoria? This is another question I'm often asked from both people within and outside of my community. And the truth is, no, not really. Now you see, some of you might be thinking that just confirms that I am a woman and confused, but it's actually quite the opposite. Once I was able to learn and internalize that gender is a construct and that our bodies don't equal our gender identities, and that having a uterus doesn't make someone a woman, because intersex people, trans men, and non-binary people can have a uterus too. You see, finding comfort in my own body before experiencing pregnancy and birth allowed me to find comfort through the process. And it's this comfort that fueled my confidence as a pregnant trans masculine non-binary person. Between that confidence and my community, I was able to deflect the hate of others, the hate that often fuels dysphoria for me. And what this process has taught me is that it doesn't matter how many people tell me that I'm a woman because I had a baby. My existence is proof that trans and non-binary people have babies too.
You are a biological woman.
You're a woman. You're a woman, no matter how bearded you get and how much you cut your boobs off.
You cut your boobs off. Yeah, you can do all that stuff. But like archaeologists are going to dig your body up one day and they're going to be like, oh yeah, it's a woman.
Yeah, she gave birth.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you cannot escape that. You just can't. You can't escape. What God made, you cannot escape. It just is what it is, dude. So, dude, woman, dude.
Our world is so whack. It's just
It is so whack. And what we're doing is we're coddling mental illness now. We're enabling it. And I hate to see that. And I feel so sorry for the kids.
Yeah. Well, and the rationalizing that person was even doing.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't trigger my gender dysphoria. Oh, so you're admitting you have a mental disorder.
Right.
So this is not the way.
Yeah. It's not triggering it because you already have it. You're in the state of it. You're in the middle of it. So you're right there. You're in the nucleus of it's just mental. And we just need to quit coddling these people.
Yeah. Anyway, we just had to share that because that was
crazy.
We couldn't know that on our own, you guys.
Craziness. We're bringing it in.
Happy Valentine's, everybody. Look, I got through the whole show without having a single stroke.
Oh my God, I'm so excited that you did. You guys, it's No Stroke Wednesday, you guys. That's what it is. It's so
No
fantastic.
Stroke Wednesday.
No Stroke Wednesday here on the Chicks on the Right show, everybody. Big hugs. I don't know. I don't think I can should I get asked? I'll get Astrid.
Yeah, try. Oh, we got to have some flappity flaps. A-Cone from Locals. Thank you so much for that tip. Appreciate you.
Come here, baby. You come give everybody a hug. You come give everybody kisses.
Oh, there she is.
Flaps.
Yes, Valentine's flaps.
Valentine's flaps. Valentine's flaps. Did you give them? Yes. Okay.
Oh,
Everybody have the best Valentine's ever. Kiss all the people. Hug all the people. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody.